In continuation with yesterday's session on rapid skill building, today we have three experience sharings from different companies. So for the first experience sharing is from the organization whose name we were hearing since our childhood, the largest manufacturer of footwear in India, and it is Paragon. To share his experience on rapid skill building, we have a dynamic personality, Chief Production Officer of Paragon, Mr. Sitaramanji. He is handling pan-India operations. He has more than 30 years of experience in business factory, internal sales, establishing quality systems and sustainable practices, supply chain management, business excellence, leading large teams of staff and workforce of more than 500 workers. Previously, he has worked with Escape Technologies, Escape India Limited, Year Corporation, and many other industries. During tenure of as a factory manager at Escape Group, his factory was awarded the best automotive division benchmark factory for 2 years. I would like to call Mr. Sitaramanji and team to share their experience.
Good morning to all of you. Yeah, first of all, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Kaizen Congress 2020 and the Kaizen Institute for giving us an opportunity to present on experience sharing about the rapid people development. Whatever we have learned in all these years, I would like to make a brief presentation. With me, I would like to introduce my team members who are there here. Mr. Sichimon, he is heading the factory in Bangalore, and he has been spearheading these operations. And Tins Baby is from Kaizen Promotion Office, and he has personally took up a lot of training sessions, and he has been very passionate about the Kaizen way of working. So with that introduction, let me start our presentations. Before we actually get into the presentations, you would like to know what we are as a company. So this video just presents about our organization.
Remember your first footwear? That typical blue and white slipper that needs no introduction in an Indian household. Growing up, everyone had one. Remember when it was more than just a slipper to you? Dad being as excited as you when it came to new footwear. The joy of choosing a school shoe for the year, buying a size or two bigger because you would grow into it, trying to hide the mischief of your white shoes for the sports day parade. The sight of Chachu always off somewhere exciting in his fashionable floaters. Pretty sure he was up to something. Remember all those subtle moments that made every day beautiful? All these memories have but one thing in common. The footwear was probably Paragon. The one brand that has been helping every Indian put their best foot forward since 1975. Welcome to Paragon. Established in 1975, Paragon has 300 pairs a minute. This translates to 4.5 lakh pairs a day. 1 crore 12 lakh pairs a month. That leads us to a staggering 13.5 crore pairs in a single year.
So that's about the brief introduction about Paragon. So why this training is required? Because training means we think that we talk about a big level of training like order training, staff training, and then and then finance for non-finance executives. Such high level of training, many organizations will think about. But it's a big challenge for the HR fraternity if we ask them to find a training for the supervisors and operators. Immediately what comes to their mind is the general safety training, first aid training, and then some motivational training. These are all done to tick their boxes of training mandates for the people. But the training which was supposed to be given to all the people in the organizations and the training which was most neglected is this, and the most required training is this TWA, but it was most neglected. Very useful training, but we didn't see the importance of it. Of course, we are also not an exception to that. In fact, we started this type of training a bit late. Now we regret why we should not have started much earlier. So the TWA training, I think most of you would have heard, I think that's called training within industry. That's a topic which we are talking about. And as you know, TWA training consists of 3 processes. One is on job instructions, job relations, and job methods. But we are going to talk only on job instruction. If we talk about our daily challenges, it is in the organizations, we say the production deadlines are not met, and then too much scrap and rework, and too much damage to tools and equipment. Employees don't follow the work specifications. Accidents are taking place. Too much time is needed for people to become experienced. This is what we continue to say, and supervisors will also be saying the same thing. But we don't make any earnest attempt to address their issues. And one such type of training is this TWA, which solve all these issues to a larger extent. Generally, in an organizations, when we talk about training, there are 2 ways of training. One is telling alone. So if you go to organizations, particularly for developing operators, what we say, you please go and stand there and watch. That's all. And after that, we will take care of our regular activities. We leave them unattended. So directly on the job without knowledge, so chance of wastage, damage, and injury will happen. So that is telling alone. You do like this, and that is what we generally instruct our people. And then showing alone, that means for first 5 minutes, this is to be done, and I do like this, you please watch. So these type of training we generally give to the operators, and then we don't count their knowledge gaining, and we say generally when our superiors ask how many days you require, we may say 1 week, 10 days, 15 days for the people to get trained. But we don't make any type of attempts, or we don't make any efforts to get them trained in a faster and rapid way. So with that, we will take the topic on TWA. So what is TWI? Training within industries. All trainings are happening within industry. Then why this topic of training within industry is coming? Is there any training outside industry? It doesn't mean that the training which are happening outside the factory is a training outside industry or something of that sort. Training within industry is a very, very old and known word in the defense industry. So probably it started in the year 1940 when they wanted to take the stock of the defense equipment and tools. That time that the USA was preparing for taking up the stock, the defense preparedness for any war. So the First World War was over, and they had a feeling that Second World War would start soon. So they had, in the meantime, they had some around 18 months. So they thought that they should take stock of that in case of eventuality if any war would come, what we would do. How to get the defense industry supported with all type of equipment, defense tools, and then who support this in defense, how it is to be trained. And confronted with them with a lot of unemployment in the states, and a lot of job opportunities were to be given. So they took this as an opportunity to develop the skill of the various industries who support the defense. So they have formed a group for training within industry, so that is why the term called TWI came up. So training within industry means somebody has constituted a movement called training within industry, and they put some leaders to train the people in those industries where they would support the defense. So that is why the term called training within the industry. So it's almost 80 years over now, but as is the practice, Japanese have mastered it, they have sustained it, and now it has become a lean tool in all organizations. Wherever lean practices are being developed, TWA has been considered as one of the very, very important training that is to be given to all the sections of the organization. Why TWA in our organizations? We consider that TWA is important for us. If you see the introductory video, that footwear, though it seemed to be, it's not competing with the high technology industry or high level of mature industry like auto industry, but every industry has got its own constraints, own challenges, and particularly in footwear industry, where we have been seeing a lot of competitors with the various articles coming up with various times. These were some of the challenges, and I am sure that every one of you in your organization will have similar challenges. Our organization is very, very labor intensive. If you see this, we have got around 15,000 people working in our organizations. And if you talk about their educational qualifications, you will not see ITI grade or diploma grade. They have been from 5th to past, just to learn and write and count. Such type of people would join, and not many permanent employees. We cannot have that many big setup, because as and when we develop, we have to have a lot of employees joining in our organizations. So we cannot have that many permanent employees, and high level of absenteeism, because this being a labor intensive, many people come. In fact, in some of the factories, when the harvest season begins, then people will go for harvesting season, leaving their job. So those many challenges and bottlenecks we have got in our organizations. Then less skilled or qualified employees. As I say that we don't recruit a highly trained employee, IT training, and then 5 years, 6 years like that. We take all type of people and then train them to make our part. And short product life cycle. As you know, the footwear is not a very, the product life cycle is not quite extensive, so where we can plan our activities, break down the jobs, and then automate it, and then bring various cost reduction methods. It's just not possible. The maximum product life cycle may be 1 year, 6 months. If the fashion changes, if the preference changes, and if the taste change, it will go overnight. So it's a very short product life cycle, so we cannot have a very, very elaborate arrangement to reduce the cost or improve the processes. Then it's a monotonous work, because as you say, as you have seen in our presentations, we have been making products, and on an average we make around 4.5 to 5 lakhs per day. So it's a type of work, it's a repetitive work. The people will look like machines. And then scarce manpower in skilled operations. If at all, if you say this, some of these skilled operations are on these cutting and then stitching, we don't get that many people, because in outside they get a better remunerations, and so such scarcities in our skilled operations. So too many changes in the process due to design and appearance and fashion. As I said, our product life cycle is very short, and then we have got too many changes in our designs. So all these problems, I think your industries will have this similar type of challenges. So it's a perfect candidate. So the TWA training is a perfect candidate for addressing most of these issues. So why only TWA? So why we are not talking about other type of training? Because these type of trainings are done very fast, but very effectively. So that is why we have put rapid. Rapid means very fast, and people development, and then short span of time and effectively train. So before that, we are, as part of our experience, we have been just taking up a part of our processes. That is the most important operation is this insole cutting area. So before that, we would explain. So many of the people may not be familiar with the terminologies what we use in our presentations. One is the insole material, what you are seeing, and then we call it as this is upper material. So it's a very simple way of explaining the parts of footwear. And then we have taken this particular 4 processes. So one is there are 4 processes. One is cutting, and then screen printing, embossing, screen printing, and component counting. These are all the 4 simple processes. As a part of experience sharing, we would like to take this and then elaborate further. How to get ready to instruct. So that's an overview of this. So we are talking about 4 processes. One is cutting, second is embossing, third screen printing, and then and counting. So those people who have undergone this training, they know there are just 4 simple methods. Basically, we should make a timetable, break down the job, get everybody ready, and arrange the website. So in this, we have taken 2 cases. One is on the skill matrix. So basically, we should have a skill matrix. One is for the new employee, and another is for the existing employee. When a person joins an organization, it is absolutely zero skill in any of this. So I have put cutting, screening, embossing, and component counting. So to relate our example with the type of training, so I am just repeatedly saying this: cutting, screening, embossing, and component. A new employee doesn't have any skill on these areas. So that is why if all 4 squares are blank. So what is this 4 square? First is being trained. That's a new trainee will get into this. That is 25%. Second thing is can perform with assistance. That means he needs some assistance to do that. And third thing is can perform without assistance. That means he can do it on his own and then be able to train others. So this is what we expect every employee in our organization, that they should be trying to do without assistance. At the same time, if possible, they have to train others. This is an ideal situation. If all these 4 skills are developed, then you give them 100%. So in this case, practically, he has got 0%. So for an example, another existing employee, one lady, which we will be showing in our presentations further, she knows only how to count. Because when we talk about that, we cannot have any type of mechanical counting, because these particles stick together. So it's not very easy to count through machines. And so they do it manually. So she knows how to count. But day in, day out, only she has to do the counting, which will be, as I said, it will be very monotonous, and she may not be liking the job. So we are developing the multi-skill in terms of embossing and screening. We are not using the lady operator for cutting because it requires some manual labor. So we are training her into embossing and screening. So because she knows how to count, her level is 25%. That is, she does without any assistance. So 3 quadrants are filled up, so 25% is there. So 3 out of 12, so 1 by 4, 25%. This is what the skill matrix is covered. So now how we are going to improve their skill over a period of time, that we will explain. Basically, it's not a rocket science or something. It is basically to decide when to train her at what time and all those things. So that briefly talks about the training timetable based on skill matrix. Who has to be given which type of training? So that will make the chart. Then job breakdown sheet. I think you can explain.
making the job breakdown sheet. We find out the important steps, key points, and the reasons for key points. For each and every training, this is mandatory because based on this only we are providing the training. Here we are find out the 3 points: make or break the job, injure the worker, or makes the work easy to do. These are the 3 steps we are using to find out the.
So every job has to be broken down into these categories. So make or break means you cannot proceed further if you don't do this job. Yeah. Very good.
This is mandatory for each and every training, and based on this only we are providing training for each jobs.
This particular sheet is made for that cutting operation. So for that no employee, this sheet is made to perform the training for the cutting operation.
So basically every job has to be broken down into these details. Make or break means without doing this job you cannot proceed to the next operation. And second thing is injure the worker. So we have to identify whether it will cause any injury to the worker while doing that operations. That is to take care of safety and makes the work easier to do. By doing this, the job becomes easier to do. So when we have to classify with these symbols. Okay. And after that, before taking the training, we should arrange all the things in order. That means in this particular case, we are going to develop that operator who has joined newly in the cutting operation. So we have to tell him what is a cutting die, what is a cleaning brush, then plant sleeve, that is what is to be cut, so that planning part and knife. So all these things are being kept in order, and then arrange the work site. So the place is clean and everything is ready for starting the training. So 4 steps of job instructions. This we are: prepare the worker, present the operation, trial performance, and follow. So this will come into a detail, but if you see this, prepare the worker. This is the person who has to be trained, and that's a supervisor who tries to give the training. Put the person at ease, state the job, find out what the person already knows about the job. Get the person interested in learning the job. These are all the preparatory work to be done for an operator to get involved. So basically what we talk about in the job instruction step 1 is make the trainee at the ease to watch the demonstration. So you don't tell him stating that I want to start doing this operation. So first we have to ask him about his comfort level, and that is what we are trying. So we are preparing the worker to take up the job. So when it comes to present the operation, the supervisor has to say what is to be done very clearly and deliberately, and he has to see the operator. That means he should have eye contact, and then he has to stress again the key points, articulate each key point as he demonstrates the job. So basically the second step is give instructions one at a time. So what is to be done? Don't try to tell them that in one go, oh, this is to be done, you have to switch on this, you have to do this, you have to do this job, and then my job is over, now you please carry on. Like that, generally we do in our general type of training. But in TWA, we explain each and every step and then create an importance so that he understands fully well. So this is a big change in this type of training. Third thing is try out performance. That means we explain the importance of each point, and then each key point is also explained. And finally, what we try to do is train, until they know. The person who gets trained, we should have confidence that, okay, he knows, so you will be able to handle it. Till then, you have to keep on repeating the points. So if you spend some quality time with that operator, and if you know that he knows and he can independently handle it, that means your job is over. That means step 3 is over. So what we talk about is prepare the worker, and second thing is demonstrate, and then keep doing the same job again and again till you know they know. So 3 steps, most important steps are covered. And then is follow. Now we are allowing him to do the job, on his own. So encourage doubts and gradually taper off, follow. So that means we are allowing him to do and watch from a distance, and then over a period of time we come out of on that site so that he will gain confidence to do the job. Like our parents teach us how to do cycling. So initially they come with us, the moment we get the balance, if you look back, your father or your brother will not be there, you will be going on. So by till guidance or till you gain the confidence, we go with them in the cycle. So same type of concept which we have to inculcate. But these have been ignored earlier. So generally what we say, we don't want to spend much time with the operators. Okay, we will set them, sir, this is the job to be done, you will do that. I have got almost many operators to be taken care. Like that we leave it. But in this TWA training, it insists that you should spend some quality time, and before that we know what are the processes and clearly explain so that the rapid training can be done. So we just quickly put the
The whole process actually took around 40 minutes.
here what I am trying to do is to tell you how we are going to do that operations. So that operation, so that is a new operator.
So all key points, everything has been explained to you, how to do, on the whole, what we have explained earlier. So you can see, actually there are many trainers, because being a new concept, we have allowed all our trainers to be part of the training, so that they will become more well versed with the process. That is why you see more trainers there. Actually, basically it is done with one person only. So now he is allowed.
Here you just closely watch
Yeah.
that die. He is keeping it. Now he is moving that press and then he is cutting. So this is a cutting die.
Yeah, he's. That is the operation to be performed on a regular job. So you need to keep the die and cut the component from the fabric.
Now after explaining all the key points now he starts on his own. This is a new training. He has not been doing any operations. Yeah, that's a abridged version of the. So if you see this, sir, how to translate the trick in terms of, so we talk about how to do the operation process, everything. But there are inherent skills or inherent learnings in the process that we call it a trick or knack or a skill. These are the terms generally we use it. How to translate the skill to some operator, because it's a type of talent which has been gained over a period of time. So how to transfer the talent? That is a question which we come up. Sir, we gave training, but he is not in a position to learn that trick. So here in the TWA training, that it's also emphasized that trick is also can be passed on very quickly.
So here we are explaining on one a simple job. In fact, that install cutting, it's a simple job in our industry. So how the trick or the knack can be achieved for that particular employee.
So here we are asking that new employee to work under the supervision of an experienced employee. So in this particular case, which we asked you to see the die, how he is keeping it, the knack is required for how to place the die. Because when we start cutting in an automotive industry, if you talk about metal sheets, automatically it will move to the particular pitch, and then it will get stopped and then you will cut it. Whereas in terms of the footwear industry, where we stack many fabric and then we cut it. So if he moves that by 1 mm, 2 mm here and there, then we lose lot of materials. So how to place the die so that the material is minimized, material usage is minimized. So that is the trick which he has to learn, which a new trainee will not be able to grasp it. So we will explain those steps and how to place the die. That's the important part of knack in that operations. So to ensure that he learns the knack very fast, what we are trying to do is the supervisor will be performing that operation and the operator who are supposed to keep that die, he will keep it for 10 to 12 cycles. So when we know that he is learned the trick of keeping the die in the proper position where the material usage is less, then we are sure that he has learned that knack. But he may not have gained 100%, but I am sure that he has learned the most part of it, and over a period of time he will be able to fine tune that. So that is one part which we want to emphasize. So generally the doubt will come that how to transfer the knack. So basically what we are asking them is to repeat that cycle with the guidance of the supervisor. So when he places the die, then the supervisor will also check, okay, he has learned the knack of putting the die very closer to the cutting edge. So that way he is also ensured that he has learned, and operator will also gain confidence. So when he is left alone, he will give the die the proper place. So that is what we want to emphasize on transferring the trick of the die.
Yeah, this is how to get the knack. This is a little complex activity. See, you saw that product. This is for a fabric stitching, because there are a lot of stitching activity in our
Yeah, as
footwear.
I said, we have got a tricky operation is in the stitching. That is, if you see this.
So generally in the TWE or training, we give them train to straight stitching, which is a simple job. Stitching in the sense fabric to fabric stitching.
Stitching, you know, we are all scared to do that stitching operations. But this TWA training, because of TWA training, we do not rely more on stitches now, the professional stitches. But we have trained so many people on stitching process. The complex part of stitching is, suppose if we move the fabric straight, then it is straight stitching. That's what we call it as. It will run for lengths. That is easier. The criticality is on this. So they have to, the stitching is all around this place. So you will watch this. So how to transfer this knack or this talent of tilting the rotating that part so that stitching comes uniformly. This is one of the tricks which we have to transfer. So that is the challenge we faced, and how to turn the fabric while stitching coordinates. So for that, what we say is we cannot give him the new fabric to make mistakes. So what we do is we make a template without a thread, and we ask them to continuously repeat in that manner of pattern so that he gets trained. Once he gains the skill for rotation, then he is ready for doing that operations. So the same process shall be continuous till he gains speed, and after that he will be able to work on its own. So now, as I said,
This is for
yeah, this is the as soon as he joins, this is the skill level what he has got. That is 0% skill. Now, after training this cutting operation, if you see this, earlier it was a blank in the first box of cutting, and this one we have got the 3 squares completed. That means he has learned the art of cutting but not screening. So he has gained the skill of almost 25%. So if you see this within a very short time. So how much time it has taken? Earlier it used to take almost
10 10 to 12 days.
10 to 12 days. Now we are doing the training within 40 minutes.
40 minutes, and then he is allowed to do the work, get the knack under the supervision of another experienced employee for about 2 hours. So almost took 3 hours to learn that job.
So that is the power of this training. In the process, even the supervisors who are not knowing the intricacies of the jobs, that is job breakdown sheets. So you will think about what are the things required and what are the tools required and what are the processes involved. He will also be able to learn better. And then the new trainee is also very confident of taking up the job, and he is feeling comfortable that somebody is there to explain step by step, and in the process we quickly learn the process. And this is what we talked about, exists a fresh employee who joined an organization that day. When we talk about this a lady which was trained only on counting, she doesn't know more than that. So we taught her the embossing operations. So in
That
the
is multi-skilling.
multi-skilling. So it can be used for doing the multi-skilling. So
Yeah, again the process is same. For that particular embossing job, we need to make this job breakdown sheet, following all make or break, injure the worker, makes the work easier. That one process is there to make the job breakdown sheet. So again, yeah, this is a training given to her for that embossing job.
So first is do plus important steps, key points and reasons for key points. When you explain these reasons for key points, they are very clear, stating that why we have been doing that, and they do with the meaning, and they understand the process with meaning, and they will be able to pay more attention. So now if you see this, that person has learned the art of embossing. So again, within 30 minutes, we have done within 30 minutes. Generally it takes 6 days or 7 days to get trained if you leave them on their own. Because they have to learn the trick, they have to learn how it is to be placed by observation, but may not be effective. But if you spend effectively some 30 minutes, she gains confidence and then she does that. And you just see the skill level. Earlier she was proficient only in counting, now she has learned embossing. It's just probably you can say that her qualification might be very less, and then she was very conversed only with the counting. Now she has got a satisfaction, she learned one more skill. So basically what we have to do, those who want to employ GW is develop a team of internal trainers, update that skill matrix. Skill matrix is a must. So we should know what they know and then train them, and what skill has to be developed, that we can decide. Then prepare the training character, that's fundamental. And the crux of our contribution, the supervisors and the other people who are better learned can contribute on bringing the job breakdown sheets. That is quite important. Okay, so we started training all the supervisors. First,
Yeah, so making a good team of trainers. So this is one.
yeah, here in this case, Mr. Tim he has learned, and then he has also developed a lot of supervisors.
So internal trainers.
Yeah. And we have developed a team or battery of trainers across all locations wherever they are working. So if you see these, we have closely prepared 120 numbers within a very short time. We are done within 30 to 45 days of, and training completed was 88 numbers. Multi-skilling we did for 67 employees, and new employees is 21 employees.
These are all
These are all
various
the
processes.
Yeah.
As we explained, we have various value streams like UPU, rubber, various kind of footwear we have. So we have partly deployed this kind of training, this method to all our factories. So
You will be surprised in this particular one, in the particular PU pouring, one particular blade was to be changed. That earlier it was done by maintenance alone. We don't allow other people to change that blade. So now it is done even by the planning person to demonstrate how effectively the TWI was done. So even the planning person who was not in the Gemba or with the machines, he could do that as an experimentation. So it's a very, very powerful type of training, I can say that, and you will be able to quickly develop the skills of these people. And any top management will be interested, and so also everyone. And if you see this reduced training time, so these are all the factual data. It's not cooked up for the presentation or something of that sort. But it is for in-soil embossing. Earlier we were doing it in 6 days. Now we are doing it in 3 hours. It's almost 94% improvement. There are certain stitching operations which I said, which is more critical because it has to be repeatedly done to gain that proficiency. So 90 days, 3 months, only people can do that type of rotational stitching. So now they are doing it within 30 days. So you can see the benefits yourself. Minimum percentage, almost 60 to 70% gain on the time itself. And we talk about increased production. Of course, if you reduce the number of days, then you are putting them directly onto the job and you get that benefit. And fewer accidents. Earlier when they do the stitching and all, if you see this, a lot of injuries will happen.
So because during the training, all the safety related
Aspects are
portions
being
are being explained to them. So they will be more careful for the work.
Of course, less scrap, because when it's training, you have to use a lot of material which has been cut down now, less rework. So whatever that has been considered as disadvantage by just asking them to train by watching or by standing near the experienced operators. But if you pay attention and if you do this, I think we will be able to gain a lot. Initially, we were also not convinced that it would be done within a shorter period. But when the moment we started implementing this, everyone is thoroughly enjoying and everyone has demonstrated it. So for that, you can just hear the feedback of the operators who got trained in the person. This is in Kannada, so you can see the English subtitle. So this is the feedback from the operator. Basically, she says that earlier we were just putting her on the job without telling the safety features, and over a period of time, after this type of training, she is very careful about the safety, and then burning of her hands and other things that has come down drastically. That's what she says. Then this is the feedback from the trainer. That's a trainee and trainee.
Myself, Joe Jacob. I am working in Paragon since 5 years. I have undergone the TWA training last month, and I thought I was trained myself as a supervisor or as a trainer. After the training, I thought I had found some others to train them. Before later times, I used to train them just when a new employee had come, we just sent to the particular area and asked them to see that or just to observe that and find out what are the methods they are following and likewise. At the times, they don't know what are happening, why these damages are getting, why production becoming low. Those such details they were not aware about that. At that times, they were a little bit struggling to. after the 3WA JA training, I thought that we can train them by each steps. What are the methods are doing, for what we are doing that. If we did it like that, what will the after effects? We can simply explain the drawbacks to that end. So we can easily explain them. We can train them easily by each steps method. So that when a new employee has gained, we can myself and go with them and train each steps by like that. I'm showing them each method like I know. So they can easily identify what are doing, why damages are coming, but how can we resolve the damages like that. So I think they are much better than the before training period. So the such methods are applicable in all fields, I think. So now we are discuss about the new methods. We have to train them like that. So we will follow this method in future.